Hey team, welcome to the Team Phoenix call tonight. Sheila, I see your message. The reason there's no music tonight is because I decided to not have YouTube tell me that like my video was not like approved in other countries or something, because something about the copyright. So Sheila's asking about music because I've been playing some like chill music while I let people load into the group, but I'm trying to not make YouTube mad. So my name is Megan Eggleston, and I am the founder of Team Phoenix. I'm not going to be speaking to you tonight because fortunately we have an awesome speaker who's going to share some great stuff with you. But if you're new to Team Phoenix, welcome. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. I do want to say really, really thank you, because I know that this is valuable time in your evening, and the fact that you show up for a team call at this time says that you're committed, says that this is something that's important to you. So I do want you to know how much I appreciate the investment in showing up for this call. So again, if you're new, we're so glad that you're here, and I hope that this is valuable information that you'll take away. You may not feel that this applies to you yet, but definitely take some notes, because it will, for sure. But again, I'm the founder of Team Phoenix. We started about 3 years ago. And now we have a raging, rocking, awesome team that I'm super proud of, and we do these calls twice a month to share our steps for success, tips from top coaches on the team, guest speakers outside the team sometimes. But there's a couple of announcements before we get going. I want to say, first of all, thank you so much to everybody who participated in the Coach Revival group that we did. This is something that this is the second time I've done it. I'm gonna call it the second annual Coach Revival. I think I'm gonna do it annually, not more frequently than that. I think that's really important to keep it infrequent. But you guys kicked butt. Like, the people who committed and participated in the Coach Revival, which was a 10-day group where we help people like relaunch or kind of kickstart their business if they're kind of feeling they were in a funk or in a lull, or kind of like needed to relaunch like from the beginning. Seriously, like I was inspired. Like, I was seeing people's messages, they were sharing their screenshots, and I was just like, that was good. I need to use that. Seriously, it was awesome. And thank you for those of you who participated. We had some winners. We already announced those winners in the group, so congrats to you guys who won some fun prizes and someone earned cash. So Ariel, I don't know how to say your name, if that's right, Lacoste, he won the top prize, so congrats, because awesome gift, but really what your gift is going to be a rockin' business. So I'm so glad that you guys were able to participate. Just a couple things. I wanted to remind you of the Success Club prizes or gifts or incentives that Beachbody has going on. If you're going to Summit, there's parties. So I'm not going to go into the details because you can look at that in the FAQs. But for everybody else, there is this awesome podcast with Marcus Buckingham, and he is like a leader in personal development. So I love anytime that the gift is actually something really like useful. I mean, I do love my bobbleheads, but they're not going to help me grow my business much. So you want that. You want to be able to, so find your 3 people. If you have not found your 3 people, find those 3 people to help this month. Earn your Success Club, but you can earn that special incentive. And if you're not registered for Summit and you are still kind of interested, there's still room. There's still room. There's hotel room. There's room in some of the houses we have. There's still tickets, so please reach out to me or your upline if that's something you're considering, even if like the slightest bit, because they'll help you make it happen, because it's a game changer for your business, no doubt. Also, month of diamonds. June is a month of diamonds. Few of you are pushing hard for that big goal. So excited. I think there's going to be I think we're going to see a June diamond pop, and so I'm excited for that. Lastly, if you're not on the newsletter, please let your upline know, because that's how I communicate with the team. Team page is a little bit too, messy to keep you informed, because I know you miss things. So please be sure that you're on the newsletter, because that's how I communicate any kind of dates, calendar things, any kind of special information, or sneak peeks, anything like that. So get on the newsletter. All right, so I'm going to hand this over to Lauren. I am going to step away because I'm guest speaking on another call. It just kind of happened that I booked tonight. That's when her call is. So I'm guest speaking on another call. And so fortunately, Lauren gets to share with you tonight. Lauren Friedman is a diamond coach on our team, and she is going to be talking about, we're calling it the Coach Emergency Survival Kit. And basically what she's going to do is show you how you make this work even in tough times. And she can really speak from experience. I will say Lauren did not come right out of the gate trying to rock this business. She was kind of, you know, whatever, this is fun, this is cool, not really committed to it. I'm sorry, I'm just, that's okay, like that's okay. I wasn't either, who cares, it doesn't matter. We want anybody to have whatever they want out of this, right? Like if you have a coach that joins you, you want them to get what they want. Like it's, not everyone wants to do it at a level of building a business, and maybe they do, but they want to take it slower. You know, it's, everybody has a different pace and a bit different goals, and we respect that. We want people to have what they want. Now, Lauren wasn't quite there, but then she decided to. Then she decided to get going, and she actually was the winner of last year's revival, and she's been growing a business the past year and is really starting to see some real momentum. But you know, Lauren has 2 young children. She's got Austin, who's 2, and Haley, who's 5 months old. So she just had a baby this year. And she has managed to keep the momentum going in her business in spite of her challenges. Her husband is deployed. He's a fighter pilot, and he is, oopsie, hang on, sorry, my screen's went blank. So he's not around right now, and she's doing this with, you know, 2 little ones at home. She's, and you know, her husband is away, and she is leading a team. She's leading her own team, Stars, Stripes, and Sweat. So I can't wait for her to listen, for you to listen to this stuff, because I really want to challenge this mentality that you're all or nothing in this business. I really want to challenge this mentality that everyone has to run at the same pace. I really want to challenge this mentality that you can't have success and you can't move forward during challenging times. There is a way to do it. And honestly, we all have those things. We all have ebbs and flows of life, and that's the beauty of what we have. Is that, but unfortunately, too many people are discouraged when they're not able to put forth effort. Maybe others are. Maybe the effort they want to. Maybe the effort that they know that they could if they had this time. So she's going to give you some steps, and some very practical steps on how to take hold of your business, to have this special thing that you're proud of when life goes on around you, whether it's planned chaos or chaos that just happens. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I can't wait to listen to the recording. I'm going to go get on another call and let Lauren take over. She will manage your questions over in the chat window, so please feel free to use the chat window. She'll answer any questions that she, oh, before I go, because I told you I promised a live a prize for live attendance. Okay, what I'm gonna do real quick. This is your prize for attending live. Okay, so you get a little hookup. I'm gonna go put over in the team page. So go check over in the Team Phoenix group. You're gonna comment below my post what fitness program you are currently using. Whether it's, and you can even say if it's BOD, you can just do BOD, like challenge du jour, or whatever, if you're following a calendar or whatever. So I'm just gonna type in live team call prize raffle. You're just gonna post below that what program you're doing currently. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a winner from that. Okay, y'all, I'm stepping off, letting Lauren take it from here. Thanks for showing up, and you're in for a treat.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Let me myself so I don't sound awkward as I'm talking. But as Megan mentioned, I'm Lauren Friedman. I've pretty much been working the business for about exactly a year now. I've technically been a coach for almost 2 years. And basically the idea of this emergency survival kit kind of came about when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do after leading up to having my daughter, obviously not knowing exactly when I would be having her, how long it would take me to adjust to life with 2 and with my husband heading out, just a lot of things going on. So I was trying to come up with a way to not lose too much momentum after, working really hard to grow a team. So I came up with this coach survival kit as a way to basically put some things into place to make it really easy when things might pop up, so that you kind of have a plan of action to make your life easier. And I think that some of these can really apply whether you're really super hardworking in the business or maybe you're just kind of dabbling more as a hobby type deal. Hopefully you'll have something you can take away from this, because it will really show you how you can kind of stay true to the important part of this business, which is, connecting with people and relationship building, and maybe taking off some of the other pressures that come with, growing a business here. So I think the first thing is just to know that, just like you would with any of your challengers, we always say like the strive for progress, not perfection. It's the same thing with your business. So you can't expect perfection. Every day isn't going to be the perfect power hour, as much as we'd like to say. It would be great if it was, but things happen and they aren't always within our control. So I really recommend focusing on, 2 or 3 areas for your business. Especially if you have something big going on in your life, whether it's a move, a baby, there's a million things that can go on. But having a few different key areas that you really like, bare bones, if I only could focus on these 3 things, these are the 3 things that I want to focus on. For me, with having my daughter, those were relationship and team building. That was one of my key things I focused on. And then social media presence and personal development. So one of the things that I did that I also think is just really important is empowering your downline and really reaching out to fellow coaches on the team, whether they're in your specific downline or maybe, another leader that you've seen on the team or even on another team. Just reaching out and finding coaches that both are either like-minded and have some messages that you want to push to your team, or maybe something that you're not as strong at that you feel like your team would benefit from. And for instance, I knew I would need to have some calls scheduled ahead of time. I didn't know if I'd be able to lead them myself. So instead of worrying about that, I enlisted one of my coaches, Rochelle, to do a few calls. And then when I was coming back into it, Sarah Whiteside actually was really sweet and did a joint team call on Success Club, which was wonderful because Success Club is one of the areas I struggle in. So it was really great to have someone who was so strong at it sharing with my team as well. So I think just reaching out to those other coaches and collaborating, whether it's, hey, I'm going to swap with you and down the road, I'll do a call for your team. I'm going through this right now. Just having an idea of some people that you can go to when you might need it is really great and super important. And you can also, utilize that with your challenge groups. Is there someone, your success partner or another, coach on the team that you really respect that you want to buddy up with on a challenge group or a team training? Doing that will take some of the pressure off of you and also will benefit your challengers and your coaches, because it's always good to get unique insights. All of us have different insights, different advice, different ways we go about doing things, inviting. And so it's really great to really to spread that information and those resources around. I'm a really big firm believer in sharing what works, because what works for me might work for someone, and I might not even know of something that you're doing that could really help me. So it's great to just exchange that. So swapping team calls is really a great thing. Yes, doing groups. Perfect. Thank you, guys. All right. So I worked with Erin Taylor Dunn because she's my success partner, and we worked together to do our first new coach training. We of course decided to do. My daughter was 2 weeks old, so but it was great going in on it together and combining efforts because it took some pressure off of me. But I still wanted to make sure that I was providing the opportunity for growth for my team, even though I was kind of taking a step back. I wanted to make sure that I didn't leave my team in a lurch or stop their progress, because everyone has different goals, and just because you might need a little bit of a break, you don't want to lose the momentum for your team. You don't want them to lose their spark. So I was really concerned about that. So I tried to have things in place, trainings, and I'll talk about it in a little bit, but scheduling posts, I tried to have things scheduled for my team, just so that was already done ahead of time. Oh no, Amanda, I hope you can stick on. All right, so, of course, now my computer's going crazy. All right. The next thing I really focused on was personal development, which obviously is a vital behavior. But for me, that is a non-negotiable. It was a non-negotiable, like the day I was home from the hospital. I tried hopping on calls as soon as I could. So, whether it's hopping on these calls or watching the recording, a lot of the times you can be running around with your kid and just have the, video turned off and just have it playing if you need to. There's, or as I said, just like listening to it in the car. I listen to a lot of personal development in the car, or when I'm cooking dinner, I like to just throw it on and listen to it, or just even just 10 minutes before bedtime. But personal development is a must. If you are not growing yourself, you are not going to be able to grow your relationships, your team, your business. None of it. So, and it also just works really well to help you get more inspiration for your own posts, especially if you're needing some, if you're going through something really tough, maybe you don't know what to post about. Well, there you go. There's something that you can draw on for that posting. One thing that I think is really great that everyone should have is, I like to call it a go-to file, but create a go-to file that includes some scripts that you like for inviting, recommendations for personal development. I personally, I like the Chalene Show as far as podcasts. I never can catch the National Wake Up Calls on time, so I'm always listening to those. I just did the Energy Bus, which was great, and I really like, I'm doing the You Are a Badass right now, and that one is awesome. I'm listening to those on Audible, so I really like those, and I'm a huge Gary Vee fan. So Crush It by Gary Vee is also a really great personal development book. I think it kind of goes, it's really quick read. So I highly recommend that, and Push. I love Chalene. So hopefully that gives you some ideas, maybe something you haven't read or listened to. But yeah, so creating a go-to file. So basically in this, you'd want to have some scripts for inviting. Obviously, I don't think you should send out a bunch of canned language without, any personalized messaging, but just, that canned script that you can add in there after you've reached out and made that connection. Having scripts for that, as well as, any language that you want to use to handle your frequent objections, price, time, the things we all hear. Having something already ready to go that you can draw on when you're maybe, you don't have the time to really think about it is really a great idea. I also like to include in this go-to file at least 2 21-day and at least 2 5 or 7, whatever you do, free challenge scripts or posting schedules. And you can either pull those. There's a bunch of resources for that within like your team files, as well as I've literally now every single time I do a group, I go back and I've been making a Word document and saving my posting schedule. So, if you haven't done it already, go back to groups that you've done that seem to be successful and save those posts. And then that way you can save yourself some time and you can easily throw it in, or, maybe you're going through something and it's a good time to get an assistant or have someone help you, then they can throw it in. Or if you're working as a team, you can both work off the same script for posting. So just having that ready to go. Also in this go-to file, keeping assorted, I call it B-roll photos, that you can add text to later. So when you're doing that workout and you take like 30 different selfies and you're only going to use one of them, well, then throw in some of those into this B-roll box and then pull from that later. You know, don't just delete them all. You can use that. And then it keeps it different. It changes it up, and it doesn't take much time. Just take those B-roll photos and add in an inspirational quote on top of it, post. There you go. You got your post. And then put this go-to file somewhere where you can access it anywhere, whether that's Dropbox, Google Docs, Evernote, somewhere where you can be, stockpile. I like that. Anywhere that you can pull from, or if you need to direct someone else to pull from if you're in a bind. So something that you can easily share with someone else on your team and you know, your success partner, whoever, if you're sharing and working on a group, just somewhere where that they can easily access it if you can't. And that kind of leads into just social media in general. I cannot stress this enough. Stay consistent with your social media. Posting, you know, daily 2 to 3 times. It is, for me, it was one of the best things I could have done leading up to having my daughter and afterwards, that was one of my big things, just staying present, because you need to keep planting those seeds. And maybe you don't, you know, if you're going through something or something comes up, you don't necessarily have time to send out invites, you know, as many invites as you might like. However, if people are still seeing that you're practicing these behaviors and that this is something you believe in, or just, you know, sharing whatever you're going through as much as you can, it's so, so important. You know, when you go silent or you stop posting about your journey, then you're going to lose a ton of momentum with your business, because there are people who are out there and they're not there necessarily to watch you fail, but they are going to notice like, oh, she stopped posting about this. Maybe she's not interested in it anymore. Or, you know, you'll be trying to build from the ground up. And this whole point of this is to hopefully make it so you don't have to do that. But just know, you know, you can't necessarily share everything that's going on in your life. You know, some things are really painful, you know, I mean, I like to be an open book, but everyone has something that they wouldn't want to necessarily share via social media. But realize that you can draw from your experiences and your vulnerability to help attract like-minded people. That's how you're going to get that tribe that we like to talk about, is sharing those more vulnerable parts of yourself, or, you know, using it and driving your content that way, even if you can't specifically say whatever it is. It's really just so important. And, you know, I know for me, it really did help because, you know, I pretty much, when I came back and was really, you know, working the business again and starting to get back into inviting and pushing for my groups, you know, that first 6 days I hit Success Club 6. So just, you know, planting those seeds. You know, you might not be able to be throwing yourself full force in right at that moment, but it's going to reward you later, versus just completely pulling back and then, you know, trying to struggle and claw your way back in. So just, you know, share yourself, share what's going on in your life. And I said, pull those B-roll pictures and throw on those, you know, motivational quotes, and there you go, if you can't really think of anything else, or pull from that personal development. Also selecting social media platforms, you know, really learning about the different platforms, figuring out kind of what will work for you and maybe your niche will help you save time. And the great thing is you can a lot of the times repurpose your content and just respect whatever medium it is. So for example, I did a lot of Pinterest stuff leading up the last few months before I had my daughter, and I have pins that are still now getting pinned from back then. So then I love Pinterest at a personal thing of mine. I really like it. I haven't been doing it as much in the currently, but I feel like it's a really great way, especially in Instagram is another one. But, you know, you spend all this time making these beautiful images, writing this beautiful content, and then, you know, it goes on your Facebook feed, and like a day later, you know, it gets lost unless you're boosting it. So I liked that with Pinterest. I felt like, you know, after that content on Facebook kind of, you know, had fizzled out, then I could throw it on Pinterest and it's still getting repinned, and still getting traction. So if you're taking the time, I definitely suggest, you know, reusing the same your content and kind of making it work for whatever medium works for you. So if you do really well with videos, then maybe it's you doing a live feed about whatever the topic is, you know, that you are posting a picture of on Instagram. You know, so using the similar content and similar messages, but presenting it in different ways saves you time, and gets you more traction. So, so yeah, as I mentioned, live streaming on Facebook, I think that's also a great way if you are short on time and, you know, really wanting to reach out. As I said, relationship building, you know, it's a key part of this business, so it's not something you ever want to lose momentum in. Oh, what is an example? I'll get to that one in a second. But for the live streaming, all you need is 5 minutes and your phone. And I definitely would suggest, you know, trying to maybe do it like once a week, even twice a week, and just being off the cuff and real, and people will connect with that. And you can now live stream on your page, your profile, your groups, your team page, and your events. So that's a really easy way. You could be literally anywhere at any time and, you know, still share, like, I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. So as I said, just being really consistent. It's so important. I really think that is the only way that I didn't like completely like flop after having my daughter. If I hadn't stayed consistent and people weren't still watching me, and seeing that I still, you know, was in this, I think it would have been a lot harder to get back into it. So how do we find me on Pinterest? Okay, and I'm not going to say I'm the epitome of doing this on Pinterest, Martha, but my Pinterest is Lauren Friedman Fit. No, yeah, thanks, Martha. Yes, Lauren Friedman Fit. And as you can probably see, I have not posted anything in a long time. And I also have a blog that I'm still trying to start back up. I kind of was doing it leading up to having my daughter, and then I kind of took a break, and I'm trying to get back into it. But I basically went back and I went through like my old page posts, and like recipes that I had posted on my Facebook page. I posted the picture on my Pinterest, and then literally included a link to either like my blog, or if I posted that recipe on my blog or on my page, and I could go to that direct post. So you're so sweet, Martha. But yeah, so just taking stuff that you've already done, because you've already put all this effort into it. And I understand not everyone likes Pinterest and everyone's kind of different, but for me, like with my market, my niche market, it kind of works. And as I said, I feel like if I'm going to put in the effort, then I might as well just throw it up on there and gain traction. And I still think it's funny because I haven't used Pinterest in like a month. But I get emails every week like, your pin has been repinned by this many people. So it's really nice way if you're putting in the time and effort. I just feel like make the most of it. So the next thing is scheduling. So if you aren't already using a scheduler, definitely use one. I remember when I first started this business and I hadn't used one, I'd be scrambling every time I had a 5-day, like, oh my gosh, it's 6 a.m. I haven't posted anything for my group. What are they going to do today? Yes, Diana, exactly. Yeah, they're not going to see the same post at the same time. Yeah. So just scheduling, you know, your posts in advance is going to help you out so much. So if you know that like tomorrow is going to be a really busy day and you maybe have a Facebook page, then go ahead and you can schedule those right on your Facebook page, or you could use Hootsuite or something if you want to do it that way. But have that already scheduled if you know it's going to be busy, if you know it's going to be hectic. Like right now I'm at home visiting my family. So I already have my like 21-day posts were all scheduled this week. My team page posts were already all scheduled for this week. Yesterday, like I knew today was going to be kind of hectic. So I already had like pre-posted what I was going to have for my page. So just already having that done will just save you so much time, effort, stress. Just do it. I definitely recommend scheduling your groups and your trainings 3 months in advance. Like I had my daughter in January, and in December, I made sure I knew exactly when all of my 21 days and my 5 days and my team, like Emerald and new coach trainings, were going to be through the beginning of April. So like already knowing when those are going to be, yes, is really, really great. So just making sure that you definitely schedule that, and knowing in advance not only will help you, but it all and just feel like you know what you're doing, but it will also if you have those people who say, oh, I can't do your challenge group right now, we can be like, well, if you already know when your next challenge group is, you can already just plant that seed then. It's just good to know when things are coming. And then as far as your group posts and team page posts, I try and do those at least a week in advance, ideally. So usually my Sunday nights are my like scheduling post nights, and I just kind of use that time, and I'll schedule like, okay, I'm going to schedule my 21-day group, and you can schedule a whole 21-day group in less than an hour. So I will literally just sit there and I'll have all of my content already scheduled. So that way, when my 21-day actually comes around, I can just be focusing on checking in with my challengers and like checking in with what they're saying on the post and interacting with them versus worrying about what content I'm going to put out there. So, so definitely, doing these things will help you be able to focus on those connections and relationships, which at the core of it are the most important thing with this business. So I did create a little document for a survival kit document, and I'll post it up. I haven't used Postcron yet. I've heard mixed things. So I'll have to tap you about that one, Diana. So I'm going to post the survival kit worksheet, but to kind of give you an idea of what is on it. It's basically a document, and it kind of talks about the go-to folder of things you want to have in that. It has you make a list of leaders and other coaches that you can reach out to, creating that schedule, listing out your upcoming challenges, writing down a list of people and maybe the topics of other people who can help you and your team by doing calls, and then a list of personal development, so you always have something on hand. So it's basically a little fill-in worksheet. It has blank spots in it, and my hope is that it will be a useful tool for you to be able to do. So so as I said, I will post that on the event page and then also in Team Phoenix. And if it works for you, that's awesome. And if you fill it out and take a screenshot or picture of it on the thread and post it on that thread before Sunday, I'm going to do a drawing for a $10 Starbucks gift card. So if anyone feels like taking on the challenge of filling out their toolkit and throwing it up there, I will be doing a giveaway on Monday. So do it by Sunday night. But I will go ahead and open it up for any questions. And I'll go ahead and I'm going to leave it on if you have any questions. I'm going to go ahead and upload the toolkit. So let me see. Right. Maybe I'm a crazy person. I think I have to put it in the group. So I'm going to load it onto the Team Phoenix page because it's not letting me do it in the event. Team Phoenix coaches. Add file. All right. So I just posted it on the team page. Okay. Okay, so for the linking a picture back to your like page from Pinterest, so it kind of depends on how you want to do it, whether you want to do just your general, so if you upload your own content to Pinterest and then you go click on it, let me pull up my Pinterest so I can actually, okay, so, all right. So what you can do is, I'm trying to find one that I did. Okay. So like I did like overnight oats or something. And so I put a picture of the overnight oats. And then if you click the little edit button, then it'll say website. And what you need for that is you'll just put, you know how if you're trying to tag something from your page, you kind of open it in a new window. Do you know what I'm talking about? But like if you need to tag yourself, like your personal self, you'll kind of do like a little refresh and it pulls it in like for your picture, and it will have like a longer link than just, you know, Facebook.Lauren Friedman Fitness or whatever. It'll have like all the numbers and craziness after it. You can do that for each of your posts. So you literally would go and edit, and then you would pull that exact, the post link and put that in there, and it'll pull them directly in there into that post. Or if you want them to go to your page in general, you can have it set that way. It's really up to you. So it depends on what strategy you want to go with. I feel like some things work better to go directly to that post, and other things go better to do kind of the more general page. You know, everyone, you know, Amanda, it really is, if you already have a really good tribe from your personal Facebook page, that's totally up to you. You know, I feel like it can be argued either way. I feel like certain things, I feel like I have gotten new leads from my page, and you can boost things, which forgot to mention this during the other part, but if you're going through something, then boosting a post, like a really well-written post, it's kind of the perfect time for it. Like when I knew I had gone overdue with my daughter, I did like a really nice post about the coaching opportunity, and I did like, I didn't spend a ton of money, but I probably did like $10 or something, which is a lot more than I normally would spend on a boost. And I spread it out over like a 10-day period or something. But I did like a longer, I paid more, and I did like a longer stint just in case I was like in the hospital and didn't have time to post as much. So yeah, I don't, as far as the page goes, I like being able to have both. I think that you have to tailor your content differently. I mean, you can use the same things in certain cases, but for me, I like having the separate page just because I don't want I just like having a separate page. So I feel like I have one place that's super, super like fitness and, you know, wellness related, and it's a little bit more targeted for that, even though I do share, you know, more subtle messages on my personal page. So it kind of just, but it's your personal choice, and kind of has to do with like who your audience is and how you're grabbing them. But I figure if it works for you, then if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. You know what I mean? Like, but it's a personal decision if you want to go into that realm. But if you already have a good following on your personal page, then you know, it's really up to you. Does anyone else have any questions? Or I hope it was helpful. I did just post up the document, so I hope it helps you guys out. As I said, is kind of my things I tried to do, and then what I kind of learned from. So, but I'll give it like a minute more. But I really appreciate you guys hopping in on the call, and as I said, I hope something. Martha, you're so sweet. I don't know how it works. I try and be organized, but I still feel like a super hot mess about it. Okay. Post the screenshot in, so in that thread that I posted, the Coaching Emergency Survival Kit, where it says fill out by Sunday, and post a screenshot in this thread. So right where the file is, in the comments, just post a picture of it, and you'll be entered in. So yeah, no problem. I hope it helps y'all, and hopefully something, you know, hopefully if it doesn't necessarily help you, because I know everyone kind of has their own system, I hope maybe it'll help out your coaches, because I know, I'm sure you know, if you are growing any type of team, you're going to at some point run into someone who's going through something in their life, and it can be very easy to step back and just decide that it's easier to just not do this, or just, you know, do the discount, and I'm not going to work the business anymore, or I'm not going to try. But really, just even if you're just going to do, you know, bare minimum, it's not going to be perfect, you know, but just, you know, striving for just progress and just chugging along until you can really pick up again is really crucial. Oh, you're so sweet, Claudine. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I really, really appreciate you guys hopping in on this call. And if you think of anything else or whatever, just feel free to message me or find me on the Team Phoenix page. So thanks, guys. All right. Have a good night.